Hey, this is Matt Cain with the San Francisco Giants, and you guys are listening to Torture Cast.
You're listening to a podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants with hosts Willie Dills, Chad King, and Ben Lee.
Let's go Giants! SF Giants! Let's go Giants! SF Giants! Dedicated to the greatest team in Major League Baseball history, the San Francisco Giants. This is Torture Cast.
Welcome to the Torture Cast, the podcast by and for fans of the suddenly struggling San Francisco Giants. This is Chad King, and I don't have anyone with me. That's because we recorded a bonusode almost a full week ago. It was after the Friday night game against Colorado. That was pretty much the beginning of the end, apparently, for the season, because I don't think the Giants are ever going to win again. Now, that was the first of three losses. Of course, they were swept by Colorado, losing in the ninth inning, and the eighth inning, all horribly dramatic, gut-punching fashion, and it's just really tough to take for us Giants fans, I know. They've been doing really well. Before that, I think they went 31-11 during their best stretch of ball, which is just incredible. That's almost 750 ball. And since then, of course, they've hit the skids. In fact, they've lost 8 out of 9, 5 in a row. They've seen their lead go from 9.5 games, and we were still happy with 7.5 after this bonusode on Friday. I mean, since then, it's gone down another 3.5 games in 6 days. Of course, the Dodgers are on a tear. They just swept the Rockies. Clayton Kershaw, congratulations to him, of course, for pitching a no-hitter, but it was not a perfect game thanks to Ramirez, who booted a ball. So that's Juan Uribe, who booted a ball for Jonathan Sanchez's potential perfect game, and now another Dodger does that. So anyway, still congratulations to him. He had a pretty incredible performance. So the Dodgers have a ton of momentum right now. They're a little scary. 4 back is nothing. They just gained 3.5 games in like 4 days. So they're right on our heels. The Giants need to play better ball. Their bullpen, of course, has been blowing up. Their starting pitching had actually been pretty good until the last 2 games in Chicago. Matt Cain, of course, got lit up again, just missing in this zone, just missing in the zone. I mean, a guy was 0 for 24 with 19 Ks, got a 2-run single off of him. Both bombs by Abreu and Dunn were off of 0-2 counts. In fact, they were the third pitch of 0-2 counts. So Tim Hudson was a little off, actually, as well. So, yeah, they definitely need to tie this thing together here. They did get Santiago Casilla back. He looked good in his rehab. He looked good yesterday with a shutdown inning or 2. Beyond that, they're heading off to Arizona. They have an off day today, which I think they desperately need. Kind of collect themselves. But look, they're going to be playing the cellar dwellers here in Arizona, and they usually play pretty well there. So the Giants need to take care of business, take 2 out of 3, nurse their way back to San Francisco, and then have a good homestand. In fact, they had, I believe, 20 games in June were at home. And unfortunately, this last homestand, they didn't do so well. I think they were 4-6 on that 10-game homestand, maybe 3-7. So they need to start playing better at home for sure, because they need to take advantage of this opportunity. Anyway, this bonusode that was recorded on June, I believe, 13th. Yes, it was Friday the 13th. In fact, there was a full moon out. That's the explanation. That's why we're playing like crap. That's it. That's why crazy things happened that night. Watching Romo blow up in the ninth, watching Pagan throw to the wrong base. Ugh. Anyway, we dissect it in glorious alcoholic fashion at Zeke's after the game. It's me, Willie, Allie Williams, and Jen Cosgriff, of course, made their regularly scheduled guest appearance on our first bonusode of the year. So I'll go ahead and shut up and let you listen. Bonusode 64.1.
Welcome, everybody, to the Torture Cast, the podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. I have no idea if you can hear me. My name is Willie Dills, and this is a bonusode. We were just at the ballpark, and we haven't done one this season yet, have we?
It's the first one of the season.
First one of the season,
and we
so...
picked a freaking doozy.
We sure did. I'm here with, of course, Chad King. Ben did not make it.
No, he was feeling ill or something like that.
Yeah, he's been to. He went to all the games we won against the Mets, but he was somehow lucked out on missing this one. Of course, we're joined by Jen.
Of course.
Hold on, Jennifer, Wilmington Cosgriff the Fourth.
Were you British at the end of that?
Maybe.
Okay. Sure.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And of course, Allie Williams is here as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
I have no idea how loud this is going to be for anybody, but we're just going to talk, right?
Should we lean in and yell over
Yeah, we should
the
all.
Marvin Gaye?
Let's all
that's
get like
happening in the
this. All right, so this game sucked.
Analysis.
Yeah, analysis begins. This game sucked. I would love to see Bochy come out for the post-game conference and just be like, "This game was terrible, man. This was the worst."
He is sassy sometimes.
But he was actually considering what had just happened and what's been going on. The Giants are 1-4 over the last 5 games. After, we're still 6-4 over the last 10. It's not like this is an extended slump or anything. But okay, someone's plotting that.
Good comment.
But even that's the first legit slump so far this season, right? I mean,
Yeah, the Giants have only lost 1 game on the Dodgers in the last 10. So,
okay.
1 game in the last 10. It's fine.
That is fine.
It's all good.
But Bochy seemed kind of upbeat, actually. He was like, you hate to lose a game like this. Romo wasn't as sharp. Timmy was good. He doesn't seem concerned.
Nah,
You went in the locker room.
I did.
What was the feeling like?
I mean, I wasn't overly down. We just
Wasn't
talked.
sullen?
Not really. I mean, we talked to Romo really quick.
Yeah.
And he said he actually felt like he pitched really well.
Well, he
They
didn't give
just
up
were-
any really loud
Yeah,
hits.
he's
They were just kind of
they were
dinkers.
just hitting.
Yeah.
You just give them credit. They're a good hitting team, and he's like, I thought I pitched well. I thought I threw it where I wanted to, and and the same with Timmy. He had a great start in his last start too, and
Yeah.
he's getting on a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, he's looking
Right
good.
now.
He's throwing hard. He's he always hits the dirt a lot, but when he's hitting the dirt a lot, it's actually a good thing for Timmy.
Poor Sanchez tonight, man. He got beat up again.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Always
main.
does.
I know that's the main reason. I think Posey's not catching him. I mean,
Really, you think they're just like, nah, we don't. Let's just let Sanchez
numbers
be the
match
one
up
who
doesn't
takes the
matter.
bumps.
Yeah, we got to save Posey. Let's put him at first base for Timmy. There's no way.
It's weird because Posey caught Timmy's no hitter. There was always all this they don't work well together. Then he catches no hitter, and you're like, well, they're definitely going to work forever and ever now. But no, this year again, it's back to Sanchez always catching him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it is because Timmy is the hardest person to catch.
Probably,
on the spot.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Buster's and he's kind of beat up right now.
Posey's
anyways.
getting a
His
lot of
back
days
is-
off
back is
as a catcher,
hurting.
at least, so far, And I think it has a lot to do with Belt being out. But
Yeah.
I think just as he progresses in his career, I think Bochy will give him a lot more off days, at least from catcher. He's going to slowly transition into just being a first baseman.
Well, then where do you put Belt?
In left field? I don't know.
We can't think about
Oh
it.
God,
We
no,
can't think about it.
Yeah. Well, we got Morse out there right now. I mean, it's a ball. One ball was hit to Morse tonight, and we all went and it wasn't even. It was just that he stood there for a second and was like, "Oh, I have to run," and then you're like, "Oh God, Morse has to run."
Like, oh no. Hey, though, him running the bases was
Yes.
my favorite part of
That was the
evening.
favorite part of tonight. Yeah,
Just discarding his
I
helmet
called
like
that.
he didn't need that.
I called that, by the way.
Like, what is
You
this?
did.
What is
You
this
did.
plastic
over-
shit on my head? Get that off.
I leaned over to Jen and I said, "I'm predicting at least a double."
At least a double.
And he
Yeah.
hit what should have been a double, but then got an extra base because the center fielder couldn't.
Yeah,
hit
I
the
think
ball.
they called it a double.
They called. Oh, did
At
they?
the
Really?
end.
Double and an error.
Double and an error.
But I thought it was just going to be a
Revised it.
single, and then you were like, nope, wait,
Wait
and
for it, yeah.
somehow you knew the center fielder was going to horribly misplay it like
That's
four
all right. You're
times.
still right.
Yeah.
They didn't reduce it to a single. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't seen that move in a while. My helmet's getting in my way. I want it off. I want it
Let
off
the
my
locks
head.
flow.
Yeah, it turned like Pagan locks. Like,
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of has those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hair. on this
Crawford,
team.
and Morse, and Pagan.
Timmy's just trying to keep up with his little.
He is, but even his hair is getting a little
That's
bit
true. I
long
think he's growing it
again.
back. Yeah.
You have Romo's beard. Pence whenever Pence has like a fro
Pence
right
just
now.
gets kind
I
of,
don't
well,
even
he
know.
gets fuzzier as the season goes on, right?
Fuzzy pants instead of fuzzy pants. You know?
That's what they should do. Is they should all just grow like just long man hair, like just like they look like a professional wrestling team. They just come out.
From whatever works, because if you can't like grow the beard, then do the mustache.
Yeah.
If you can't do either, grow the hair. It's
Yeah.
like, whatever works for you. And
See, we
Just have a lot of hair.
we unfortunately lost the best mustache but worst pitcher on the team, which was Huff. Which
Yeah.
he
When
had
him
like
and
the
Lincecum were next to
molester
each
mustache.
other, yeah, I was like, oh god, guys.
Like, is this working for you? Or are you aware of what you're doing?
Yeah, he was that mustache.
By the way,
was
he
really
went
sad.
back to the Yankees, right?
Yeah, for
he's
cash.
gone. For cash.
Yeah, just cat.
Cold hard cash, baby. Cash talks.
That's just sad. If
Giants
you're
are
a
hard
baseball
for
player.
cash, and what the hell?
That's even worse when like the Giants are doing very well as an organization. They're like, they just wouldn't give us any players, so we said, well, you got any loose change?
Yeah, the Yankees are all like, here you go. I got some pocket change here. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
All
poor
good.
Huff. Oh well.
David Huff was my favorite coming out of spring training because Carmen, our friend Carmen Keo, who makes the lovely gifts, said she was like outside the stadium when some of the players were getting there, and like she saw Huff walk up, and he didn't even wait for people to ask for his autograph because who's going to be like, oh, that's David Huff, sign my baseball.
Oh, he just
That's
went
why
over
He
and
just went
started
up and started signing everyone's stuff, and then he had like an extra breakfast sandwich from Starbucks, and he was like, did anyone forget to eat breakfast? They gave me an
Wow.
extra one, and some kid was like, me? And so he gave it to him, and then he sat and Huff and like waited for the kid to eat it, and he's like, I mean, how is it? Like, waited for the kid to take a bite, and we were like, Carmen was like, what is with him and breakfast sandwiches? Like, I don't know, but I instantly love him.
I miss him even more now.
Like, he was really
It would have been
sassy,
awesome
like,
if the kid was like, "Do you have ketchup?"
like, based on
like
that
a dry
alone,
sandwich.
I love that guy.
That's amazing. You could probably just do like me and you could probably come out from the media exit and just walk up to people and start
Just
signing
start
stuff. You're like, what?
Kids
I'm
are
in the
like, Dad,
bullpen.
what
You
the
don't know?
hell? Yeah.
I mean, if you're a reliever who's brand new, why would
Nobody knows who you are.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
From the
ask?
Rockies bullpen, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody would know.
Who were the bullpen catchers for the Giants again? Can't remember their names.
I do not know.
The old
Come on,
guy
guys.
and the younger Asian guy.
You nailed it. Those are their names.
The two guys,
Those are
right?
them, yeah.
But
yeah.
no, they're dressed in full Giants unis. I'm just
Every day,
wondering, like,
yeah.
how many kids go down to them? They're having no clue.
Well, I know they both got rings every time the
Oh,
Giants.
absolutely.
You know.
Oh, and then the real
Yeah.
rings. But I mean, just
Like,
sit
but
there.
I've always said
hey,
this.
Hey, can you sign him? And they're like, yeah, sure.
I feel bad that we don't know his name, but we all,
I'm gonna try to see if I
every
can
like
find
Giants fan knows about the Asian dude who's been like the bullpen catcher for a
forever.
long time.
You need
Forever.
to get his autograph, and you don't know what his name is.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, this dude crushes like men's adult baseball leagues,
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
Like he is just like an all-star.
Dude, he's a ringer in the softball league he plays in.
Like,
There's
how do
no
you
doubt.
get this job as a bullpen catcher?
He's definitely
But,
their
like,
shortstop, just
yeah.
nailing everyone at first base.
Yeah, he hits like 5 home runs a game. He's just amazing. But
I'd like to know the backstory on these guys. No, seriously, like, where did they play high school ball? Did they play college? Did they play any minor league ball? I mean,
well,
you
I'm
know.
sure he was a catcher because he has to have some sort
That's
of.
the first one.
Okay.
Bill Hayes.
Yeah,
Bill Hayes.
Bill Hayes has catcher face. We all know that.
Yeah, what do they call him? Billy Hayes sometimes. That's right.
But
I'm gonna look up the other one.
okay. But yeah, like he, to actually give feedback on how the pitcher's stuff is that night, you have to know something about. Like, you have to have caught a guy
You have to
in the
know
past.
something to catch 97-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, that's true.
Just plain and simple.
That's true.
I've never caught before. Can I sign up for that job? Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's a pretty good job though. Huh?
I'd love it. No pressure at all, right? You're not up there hitting. You're not pitching.
No.
You're just warming up pitchers.
Like the biggest issue with your job is you might get nailed in the back of the head by a foul ball.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right.
like-
That's the biggest danger.
The
For
reliever's
me,
gotta
that's like a
protect
big
you.
issue, though. I'm not like signing up for a job where that's a possibility.
Do you guys remember when Posey was not like he was brand new, babyface rookie, and he was catching bullpen sessions, And one day, and everybody knew Posey was like our big future star. And he was catching a bullpen session, and the guy, I think it was probably Billy Hayes or somebody who was supposed to be kind of flagging the foul balls down, didn't get it. Posey was facing away from the play, turned and just like backhanded the ball over his head and got like a standing ovation because everyone was like so excited to see him do anything.
He's here. He's doing things.
Yeah. You see that? This guy's amazing. Put him in. You didn't even see the ball. Yeah, I remember that vividly because I was at that game and I was sitting near the bullpen and I just like, yeah, I'm ready for this kid. All right, well, let's talk about something that's good going on in the Giants season because tonight's game was terrible. But we can all still look and say, best team in baseball.
Can you?
Wait,
you go
this
for
isn't
it.
Is it?
Well, I don't know.
No.
I cannot find it on the roster anywhere. That doesn't look right to me either. But that's the name of a Japanese Giants bullpen catcher.
It's gotta be it. I don't think that's it. I think he has more of a. I think he's like American first name, Japanese last name.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Matsu looks familiar.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm working really hard to Google this, and I cannot find it.
Clearly, we're knowledgeable on this subject.
We promised TortureCast fans that we will find out, and we will tweet it.
Wait, here's another article with that name in it.
It does look familiar.
I feel like the worst.
Yeah?
Keep going.
All right, so the Giants, even though we've got them 1-4, this is how good of baseball we've been playing this season. We still have 3 more wins than the second best teams in Major League Baseball.
In Major League Baseball, right?
Yeah, I think there's 3 teams at 40 right now.
Okay.
And the Giants have 43. So, are we concerned? Is anybody concerned?
No.
1-4?
No.
Season's over.
Season's over. Pack it in, guys.
Best record in the Major
It'll
Leagues.
be
Hang it up.
Interesting to see how they play over the next week or so, because they did go on a ridiculous tear. And you knew obviously they weren't going to win 130 games this season. You knew at some point they were going to slump.
I don't know about
I'm
that.
sorry. Sorry to burst the bubble here. But it's just, we saw the Dodgers go on a ridiculous tear at the end of last season. So it's early enough that it's no lead is too big at this point because we know what the Dodgers are capable of. But I still think this Giants team they're a good team.
This Giants team is head and shoulders above last year's Giants team.
Yeah, they're not going to drop 20 in a row or something. No, I just jinxed them.
Well,
dang it, guys.
You heard it here first.
They won't. Well, they're on an extended homestand, essentially.
And now they're 4-4.
Yeah.
Which, again, you look at the whole homestand. Okay, fine, they're fine.
But after their last road trip, it was going to be something like 20 out of 25 games are going to be played at home.
Yeah, most of June is at home.
You had a rough patch at any given point in the season, but I don't think that I don't think that this team is really capable of an extended one because of the fact that we have Bumgarner and we have Tim Hudson, which is just they're not really going to lose lots of games in a row, just those 2 guys.
The 2 of them losing in the same week would be really surprising.
But you're concerned about the other starters right now. None of the other starters have shown supreme consistency throughout the rest of the season.
No, Vogie started bad, then was super solid for 5, 6, 7 starts in a row, and then he's
definitely turned it around a little bit, but we know how bad he can be as well. We saw last season.
7.5 game lead is fine. Obviously, we're not going to complain about that, but man, losing these kinds of games where you have it all but locked up, and then it's just is it going to come down to 1 or 2 games at the end of the season? Because the Dodgers aren't going to go 42-8 again. But if they just change,
continue to knock on the wood. Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people going, when it was at 9.5 games, I think that was the largest it ever was. Oh, it's over. Mm-mm. You just shave off 1 game a week.
Yeah.
And you're caught up before September. So, it's happened. 93, they had a 9-game lead at the All-Star break over the Braves.
No, anybody who's been a baseball fan for an extended period of time is not going to think that anything is over or anything is...
We're not even halfway through the season, for God's sakes.
But the fact is, I'd rather be in the Giants' place right now, regardless of the last 5 games, than anybody else's place in baseball.
And the Nationals are a really good team. Like, I think everyone is like, they had dropped 3 or 4. They have arguably the best
ERA
pitching staff in baseball. Yeah, like,
or at least in the National League. I think there might be a better team.
Their bullpen is the best in baseball. I mean, the Giants tagged them for 5 runs yesterday, but like, this is a good team. They're in first place in the East. Like,
and they don't really have any weaknesses on the field right now.
No, and their defense.
Bryce Harper is not even playing yet. He's coming back from injury. So
Gonzalez has been out for like a month, so he wasn't even in the rotation.
You dropped 3 out of 4 to a first place team. I mean, I think a month ago those are games that they win, but it's gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna beat up on everyone. They went on that road trip and went 5-2 against St. Louis and the Reds.
Well, and they beat up on some good teams. Yeah. I mean, the Reds haven't been playing up to their potential, but I think they're still a good team. They have a lot of good players on that squad. Cardinals also have. It's weird when you look around baseball right now. There's like a few teams that are pretty hot, and then a lot of teams underperforming. Which it just feels like it's going to be one of those seasons where you get to the playoffs and there's really only going to be like 3 or 4 teams people are talking about.
Yeah, like look at the Rays this year. Yeah. Holy crap, man.
Yeah. Is Toronto still in first place in that division?
Well, they went on a ridiculous tear, so.
Who saw that coming? Anyone?
No.
Well, that's like kind of how they were expected, right? When Toronto got all these like big names and stuff a couple of years back, they're expected to do so well, and it's kind of like now they're doing what everyone expected them to do a couple of years.
Yeah, they just took a little time to get there, right?
A little like delayed, like the fashionably late start.
Yeah,
but like
they're very fashionable up there.
They have a lot of really good players on that team, so
yeah.
All right, so I think at the beginning of the year that we were all predicting like 85. 83, 82 wins. Does anybody think it's under 90 at this point? Or, I mean, it's going to be hard to get under 90 now.
I still think it's over 90.
It's going to be depressing to get under 90.
Yeah. Like, I think we're looking...
Oh, my gosh.
I think we're looking at, like, 93, 92, somewhere around there.
Yeah, when they hit their high water mark, when they were, 42-21?
Yeah.
Because that's winning 2 out of 3, right? If they had played 50 or 500 ball the rest of the way, they'd still end up with 91 wins.
Yeah.
So they're still around.
And they're going to be a better than 500 team the rest of the way.
So if they're going to be above 500, that already automatically puts them in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Like you said, it's going to be very depressing if they don't hit 90 wins. That means a very, very bad second half.
All right. I just want to tackle, like, one more big thing, because, we usually talk about, like, what's the big question. I think right now, everyone's looking at this team, and they're going, this is a pretty solid team. We got a lot of good pieces in place. There's not a lot of things that need to change. But there have been some talks about, every time the Giants have been good, there's been the mid-season acquisition. There's been some talk about a starting pitcher, which would mean that probably Timmy would move into the... I don't know. It's weird. Who moves into the bullpen?
I feel like you have... Just because of Timmy's contract, I feel like you have to move Bogey.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, people are saying Timmy, and I'm like, but he's just the start... I don't know.
And Timmy's been really reliable, like, recently. I mean, like, it was...
Compared to, like, Bogey and, and even, like, Kane, like, Timmy's been pitching really well.
I mean,
Kane is kind of shaky, so...
There's only been one outing at home where Timmy has given up more than 3 runs.
Yeah.
Everything else he's been solid at home. And, away is different, but...
I think he's turned a corner, honestly.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, and tonight I think Schulman asked him about that. Like, we've put together back-to-back really good starts. Your velocity tonight was at 94. When was the last time he was hitting 94? So do you feel like maybe this is kind of the groove that you need to be in to just rattle off a bunch of wins in a row? He was like, I don't know, we try not to think about it, but he's like, I feel really good where I am right now. Like, controlled the big inning. I don't know if he even gave up many hits apart from the third tonight.
No, he gave up 3 hits over 6. That was it.
And 2 came in the
first hit was
all 3 were that inning. All 3 were that inning.
And it was like kind of one of those fluky, weird innings. Give up a hit to the pitcher.
Yeah.
De La
Rosa let it off.
Start an inning off bizarre and just continues to get weirder. But yeah, he's been like, to me, it's like we know what he's capable of. I don't really know if that's the guy that I want to say halfway through the season, like, now for the rest of the season, you're like, for the playoffs, it's one thing. Like, we already have established these 4 guys, and we're talking about, 20 games or so. You're talking about, 80 games. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. So I don't think they should be looking for a pitcher. I mean...
No, and they're winning games that Timmy and Bogey start. Like, like your 4 and 5 guys, I mean, the Giants are winning 2/3 of those games easily. Like, they're doing much better in those starts than when Kane starts.
I think you have to just kind of make sure Kane's going to be healthy for the rest of the season too, because he's been kind of on and off.
But he's had weird problems. Not like he hasn't had an elbow problem, or it's been a back and then a cut on his finger and then weird stuff, which isn't a nagging type of if you get a shoulder or an elbow or something then it's maybe you're not going to make it through or leg. Type of thing.
Last season he had those was the spurs or something like that.
Yeah.
There was something like that, and we haven't heard anything about that yet. But just, if you can stop cutting fancy sandwiches, then that's fine. But
dang it, Kane, just be blue collar.
Can we just get the Giants sous chefs just to walk around?
Have someone make your sandwich for you, goddammit.
All right, so if it's not a pitcher we go after, it's got to be a second baseman, right? And a short-term second baseman. Because Panic has been actually playing really well.
Yeah,
he's looking like he'll be ready
yesterday
maybe next season at the earliest, but that would be ideal because it looks like Scudero's not going to be much of anything ever again for the Giants, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad. This is the second year of his
he's got one more.
He's got one full year
left. But here's the thing. It would be awesome if he could actually just be a legit pinch hitter on this team and somebody who could maybe come in and...
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fine. That'd be great. Somebody who can just get you a clutch hit and delayed innings. I don't know if he's ever going to be that even, but...
It's kind of full Freddie Sanchez.
Yeah, I know. Just full Freddie
Sanchez. The twilight zone of Giants positions.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Do not sign anyone to play second base.
No, you need a young... virile, healthy man
with flowing locks.
Yeah.
Well,
or a huge mustache.
I really like Brandon Hicks there. I think.
Really?
I think defensively.
Did you watch the game that we watched today?
Yeah, he's.
I defend him all the time too. I defend him all the time too
I
because
love
that's a big
that defense,
moment.
and you have ground ball pitchers, and Hudson yesterday, I worked the game, and he raved about Crawford and Hicks up the middle, and that defense is so good. And
they do
you have pitchers who need ground balls, and they have such a nice chemistry in the middle of the infield that they're turning ridiculous double plays.
Well, he's got a really good
night.
arm for a second baseman, so he's able to turn double plays you're not supposed to be able to turn.
Yeah, that's obviously he needs. You were saying earlier, he needs to be hitting higher than 180.
I was on the Hicks bandwagon because, he was hitting 190 or 200, 210.
Early on, though, he had 8 home runs.
With the 8 home runs, right? But now in his last 60 ABs, he doesn't even have a home
8 home runs.
Yeah, he still has 8 home runs.
It makes no sense right now.
In those 60 ABs, he struck out 26 times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
he's leading the team.
That's
insane. He's got 67 or 68 strikeouts now, and
his
the
K
guy
average is higher than
him,
his batting average.
Yeah,
and that's
the guy behind him is Morse, and no one gives a crap about Morse's strikeouts because
he's hitting 275.
the guy's hitting almost 300 and he's got the most RBI. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's the one spot where if you look at the team, you go, which guy could we replace and have a big impact on the team? And if you could put Crawford back in the 8 hole, where I think he's he's the best 8 hitter in baseball.
He doesn't like that slot though.
He doesn't?
No.
Right
that's too damn bad.
He's an RBI machine for the Giants.
I know he's second in RBIs,
yeah,
but he also
hasn't.
He hasn't been hitting 8th. If he was hitting 8th, he'd still be hitting 260 maybe, but you just have less RBIs. But now instead we got Hicks batting there, so.
It's rough that.
I don't know. The thing about RBIs.
But if Bumgarner's after him, there's still hope at the end of the order. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I like an 8 hitter who's still kind of a threat because then you get I don't like an 8 hitter who hits sub 200 for sure.
I don't like any hitter that's hitting under 200.
But what I'm saying is especially hurts there because your pitcher can't bunt the guy over. Your pitcher just comes up and has to take an at bat because the guy in front of him is not on base ever. Well. Very rarely he's on base, and so you don't get those chances to actually have it be productive at all. I really like, I like a Blanco in 8th, but I also like a Morrison left, so that's not going to happen. But I like an 8 hitter to be somebody who can get on base and can provide the spark where then you turn the lineup over, and then you've got Pagan, Pence. You got a chance to score a run in an inning, maybe not supposed to.
Right. But then if they get rid of Brandon Hicks, then they won't have the Brandon to Brandon double play.
That's a big problem.
That's
right.
That is one of my favorite things.
I mean, that just sucks.
That is a huge problem. Never mind. Never mind.
Like, you get rid of Hicks, and then there's only one Brandon left on the current
active roster.
Belt's coming back soon.
But for a time, we would only have one Brandon, and that's unacceptable.
And Brandon weekend is like coming up.
Do you think the world would end if that occurred?
I don't know. That Brandon commercial, every time we see it, we laugh. It's so good.
Well, yeah. The moment when they look at each other and they're like, oh, like it's just, yeah, it's pretty good. All right, but if we were to do this move, is there any second baseman out there that makes sense to go after? Because, like, I think here's the thing you're looking for if you're the Giants is like very few years left on your current contract, so that we can just kind of dump you when we're ready to bring up Panic. And someone who is not going to drag the chemistry of the team into the dirt.
Yeah, that's the best thing they have going for them now is how much they love each other. It's a ridiculous amount, and I think that factors in definitely.
Like, I've heard people say Chase Utley, and then I like think of him, and I'm like, he's so stupidly serious, and like totally fits Philadelphia as like that kind of just like kind of jerky. Just kind of a...
No, he's never seemed like
Can you
an
imagine
affable...
him with Morse having a conversation?
No, actually, I can't.
They just physically couldn't
Like, I
speak
feel
to each
like
other in the
the,
clubhouse.
like the only guy he could talk to would be like Posey, and they'd just be like, baseball, man, right? Yeah, totally.
And then that'd be
baseball.
Yeah.
You love it, I love it. But then,
Posey
like,
might be happy then.
I know. Posey's like,
right.
finally,
Don't talk
who's
to me.
not weird. But I mean, like, they can be serious. I think Posey is like the heart and soul
sure
and the
they
leader
talk
of
a
this
lot,
team,
yeah.
and he's like the most serious. But yeah, I don't
but he's
know
also
what.
goofy as hell. His commercial with Romo is ridiculous.
That was so ridiculous.
Yeah. Surprised they got him
We've
to do that.
seen him be incredibly funny,
the
and
blown tear.
yeah, he's got a dry sense of humor. But I think
We see it once every 8 months, but it is there. Yeah, I don't know how much Utley.
I just
you brought up Murphy.
Because I've heard, Daniel Murphy from the Mets.
From the Mets.
Yeah. I think the problem right now is the Mets are kind of contending in their division, right?
Give them like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
When they were playing here, it was over.
Sorry.
And I was gonna say when Allie and I were working some of the Mets games, like every time they made a ridiculous play, we're like, "Well, Mets gonna Met." Like that's what we're watching right now.
Let's go Met.
They're winning for like 2 innings, and then they like throw a ball into the stands.
I actually have some friends who are
yeah.
Mets fans who are hitting me up, and they're like, "We're beating you for now," and I'm like, "That's your trash talk."
Your team is terrible.
I'm like, dude.
Passive aggressive towards yourself. What are you doing?
I remember like sitting in the press box a couple times, and we'd be like, "Mets go Met," and then we'd like look around and be like, "Oh, sorry, beat writers for the Mets."
Because there are 1,000 beat writers for them.
Really? Yeah.
Any New York team is like that press box is full.
Well, there's
to
a lot
the
of people in
brim.
that city, so.
Dang it, guys.
Per capita, they have the same number as
Sorry,
we
is
do.
that the rule here?
Be less than one.
All right, so I like that pick though. I think he would work really well. I think he fits. Like he's not like a big average guy, but he's got some pop. He's kind of a big dude.
You say
His
that
defense
now,
isn't
and he's
terrible.
going to turn into Hicks, and he's going to be batting
No, he's not.
170.
There's no way. What is he hitting? Like 290 or 280 or something? He's having a
I
really
don't know.
good season.
He is having a good season.
He's like the 3 hitter
I don't
for
know
them.
his stats.
No, he's like their 3 hitter though. Seriously.
I really like Hicks.
I just don't know who they have to give up to get someone like Utley
Yeah,
or
no, I
Murphy
mean
or
that's the
whatever,
thing.
and that's what scares me.
I don't want to give up a whole bunch for some kind of stopgap to a team that's already really good, and that's another thing you got to think about. I know we have like some pieces that and especially we just drafted a bunch more pitchers and stuff. We have some pieces in the minor leagues that we can move that, like I've heard people say like, well, they drafted some guys because maybe Crick isn't going to stick around. We're going to use him as trade bait.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that though. 'Cause
I don't-
Crick
yeah.
is like pretty
I don't
close,
like that.
you know, and
I don't like that at all.
yeah.
No.
Let's talk about that for a second. Nobody likes that.
Oh yeah, and we haven't talked about the Giants' first round draft pick
Oh, Beatty.
yet. Yeah.
Tyler Beatty from Vanderbilt.
Young Beads or whatever.
Yeah,
What is it? Young Beta. Young Beta.
Daniel Murphy's batting 303.
Oh, 303
my
now.
God. That is a lot higher than 180.
5 home runs though, less home runs.
I will take 303 with 5
I
and
don't care.
178.
No, you won't.
All right, Young Beta is our new. He's a rapper. Do you guys know he's a rapper?
Yeah.
I'm sure you were
I
all
did a
aware.
write-up on him, and
Oh, you
I
did?
love that was like on the like the
No, but he's
VD
like a
athletic
legit
page.
rapper. Like he wants to be like a rapper as well as a baseball player.
Is that
Well, after
something
they
that we
drafted
really
him-
want in a draft pick?
I don't care about that. I don't care what your hobbies are, but
The way the Giants are, like, I feel like that fits
He's
right
probably
in.
gonna fit
Yeah.
right
So,
like he's gonna be like hanging out in like underground hip hop.
in. You know, he
bars.
and Pence are gonna come up with like some sort of dance.
Oh yeah,
or, like,
I'm sure.
No, he's been fun to follow on Twitter.
The thing
After they
is,
drafted
oh yeah,
him, I
as soon
started
as we
following
drafted him,
some funny
Torture
stuff.
bang, follow this guy.
Yeah.
But he's actually really good. Like I was like, oh god damn it, he's a rapper, and I was like, all right, let me look this up. And then-
Wait, is this based on what are you comparing him to say he's good? Like your rap, which I haven't heard, but I saw snippets
the
of the
bar
music
is
video
set
today.
at my rap. Yeah. We define good and bad based on how I rap. Anybody better than me is probably in like the Rap Hall of Fame, if that's a thing. Yeah.
Is that?
I don't know. And everybody.
I'm googling a lot of weird
Rap
stuff.
Hall of Fame.
Everybody below me is in the Rap Hall of Shame. All right.
Okay, you went there.
so you're like the Mendoza line.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
200
you.
hitter.
I'm a 200 hitter.
Wait, I only typed in rap
I am the
H and it
I am
immediately
the Brandon
Rap Hall
Hicks
of
of
Fame.
rap, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so
But you hit a couple out once in a while.
every now and then,
There
man,
is a hip hop Hall of Fame.
Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Well, I didn't say
Also a
Hip Hop
board
Hall
called
of
Rap
Fame.
Hall of Fame on Pinterest. Don't worry, guys. I'm clicking on that.
I was worried for a second there.
Got
We were going to
there.
find out what had made it onto that Pinterest.
Pictures of old rappers.
Oh, okay. All right, so listen to his raps though. He actually is pretty good.
I'm gonna find him on Twitter right now.
Yeah. As like
Now,
for-
him and his teammates recreated that statue in front of Omaha Rosenblatt Stadium, where it's three guys holding up. I forget what team it was, but it's a scene from someone winning the College World Series, and so it's like one of those war memorials. You know, it's like three guys holding up the one, and he's like with the number one and his hand in the air. So they recreated that. Three of his teammates held him up. They all assumed the exact same positions as the
what
statue.
for being drafted?
No,
Oh,
because they made it to the World Series
Oh,
after
I
they beat
see.
Stanford. They
Yeah.
went to Omaha.
He
And
pitched
so
the next day.
He's
after
the
his
one on
draft,
top
though,
going
and
like this.
Terrible.
Yeah, he didn't do too well.
He did not do well.
Yeah.
But he looks good. And he raps good.
Thank you.
Oh, I will have another Anchor's team and whiskey.
I don't have another anchor.
And I'll come up there.
I was like, I was gonna move so we're not ordering
Oh,
booze
yeah, that's right.
blatantly,
Just one
like,
Lagunitas.
on the podcast, but fine.
and whiskey.
And one whiskey for him.
Just the one.
Holly, do
Just
you
the
want
one.
anything?
You're okay?
You're not.
This is the part of the podcast where we order
Yeah.
drinks.
Time out, guys. Time out.
For everybody who
This
was
is how we
wondering.
learn how to podcast
I
with you
missed
guys.
this part. I missed this part.
Wait, guys, the heart-to-heart people are gone, and now I don't want to go on.
People
being-
who replace them are not Brandon Hicks.
No one will ever be Brandon Hicks.
Like a double stab.
Let's
Dang it, guys.
let's pimp your guys' podcast while we're at it.
We don't even have a name for our podcast.
That's hard.
Work on this
The Yet
later.
That's really hard to
Unnamed
promote that.
podcast.
Yeah.
You can look us up on
For Allie,
Podomatic
Jen, and
under
Carmen.
Bay Sportsnet,
I think so.
maybe.
Bay
I
Sportsnet.
think so.
We have 3 episodes,
Yeah.
so you're welcome, everyone.
Cool. Intros and outros and all that.
Do we have intros and outros?
You get to hum your own.
Ah, okay. So
It's a
recommended.
podcast in progress.
It's recommended to like make up a song and then press play.
Yes,
I
actually.
like that idea. I think that's groundbreaking. Actually, I don't
Send
think.
in your song submissions too, because we'd like to hear them.
We
I
are
don't think it's
we are
ever been done.
pummeling our Matt Cain bumper to the ground because that's
Oh
all
yeah.
we're ever gonna
By
get.
the way, every single episode begins. Hi, I'm Matt Cain. Listen to Torchcast. And it will always. I think it
3
should
years
always-
from now, he will still be doing it.
I think what we should do actually is we should get other players to say, "Hi, I'm Matt Cain," and you're listening to Torchcast.
That'd be good.
You need it to be like Pablo or someone who
Yeah.
like clearly has a thick accent, where people are like, Wait,
Yeah, they're like, "Wait,
what?
What happened to Matt Cain?" Yeah,
Oh, that would be great.
that would be epic.
Thank you.
Angus team.
Perfect.
Good. That's what I want. I'm glad you didn't bring me something else. All right.
Yeah, you guys can't go to the clubhouse and say, "Hey, can you record this bumper for my podcast?"
You probably
right?
could.
Yeah, that would be. That'd be frowned upon, huh?
Yeah, rest on me.
Yeah, we could ask, like, so how'd you feel today? You know, are you making any changes? Also, can you record this real fast? Just read the script. Don't ask questions. Thank you.
Don't ask questions.
See, you guys...
So there you go. So what do you like to listen to? I like to listen to blah, blah, blah. Can you say the word torture cast? Torture cast. And then you just edit it all together.
There you go.
There you go. Hi, this
Seems
is
legit.
Matt King. You're listening to Torture Cast.
But you guys have the advantage of being able to go into the locker room and get some audio and use it on your shows.
Dang it, we haven't even thought about that.
Oh, we don't get that opportunity. All we get is Bochy. What does he
That
know?
guy.
So, I don't know if I should refrain from the names, but I overheard in the dugout a couple of beat writers bitching.
Refrain from the names, yes.
Yeah, bitching about how the Giants' PR person is giving out too many press passes. So that was interesting.
I feel like this year they've cracked down on it quite a bit.
Well,
Their security's
I remember
tighter.
there was
Depends on-
They're really looking at everything. They're writing all the numbers down, things they never
They
used to
took
do
away
in
my
the past.
guns, man. I was like, this is America.
This is America.
No, but they there was some stuff at the beginning of the season about people not getting season ones, right? Stuff like that. So
Well,
that's
season
lame.
ones. Yeah, you guys
lame.
used to have the plastic permanent ones, huh?
We
They were
did.
so pretty.
You
I
can use them to
know.
get into bars and stuff, right?
And now you have
We had to give them back.
cheap ass paper ones like we do. Except they're still
We're
they're
working
still
towards getting those season ones next
they're still
I think you
different
guys deserve
colors.
them.
You still get higher level access.
Yeah.
You suckers have the pink
we have
ones.
the pink ones.
Yeah, we get the pink ones. I love that. I'm like, pink. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I think you guys deserve season access to everything. I think you guys should get everything.
To everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just all the major sports. Like,
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Super Bowl.
you guys
Never
go to
covered
A's
like a
games
single
too?
NFL game, but let's write that down, please.
Oh yeah, Levi Stadium season opener, no problem, right?
Masters.
That would be great. People should start flying us places to cover these sports that are far
I
away.
agree.
I'm on board with this game.
I agree. You guys out there,
good plan.
all the people who matter, the important people who listen to this show, get on it.
Non-important people don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
You keep being you.
All right. Last thoughts on the Giants game, Giants season.
That really ruined the night, man.
It was bad. This was
was a
not a
major
game we
downer.
expected, any of us expected to lose, right? Because the feeling of the season so far has been positive, like really positive. We haven't lost a lot of games that we've been winning.
4-2, little El Machon coming in the ninth,
Yeah.
and it just
Like
man.
we're the team who comes back.
single.
Not you.
Wild pitch.
Not you.
Yeah.
Rockies, get out of here.
And I've seen a bunch of these games in person too, like where, we're losing, it's not looking that great, and then we just kind of.
Well, I think Brian Wilson in 2010 had 5 blown saves, and I know at some point in the season, I mean, his ERA was pretty high, and people were talking about it.
Wait,
just like,
side note, his ERA is currently pretty high.
It's
over
in
over
LA,
6
which
right
is
now.
super fun.
I do like
It
to
is.
see that.
Although the Dodgers
his
won
ERA
tonight.
is the date. It's now officially June 14th, and he has a 6.14
Oh,
ERA.
yeah, it was Friday the 13th. That's why we lost, you guys. It was Friday the 13th.
Full moon, too.
Full moon.
Yeah.
Creepy moon.
Of course, weird stuff happens. Like the Giants losing. Totally
So
weird.
Yeah, Romo's ERA went up by a ton tonight, 3 to 4.61. Ouch.
So,
Quite
a point and a half.
Yeah, but if you can bunch your runs, then it's okay, right?
And I was looking at his stats after the game, and against the Rockies, he has like a 20 ERA.
Yeah, that's right. His other blown, or he has, 3 now total in
Yeah,
the season,
3 total.
2 against the Rockies.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he has a
Dang it,
193
Rockies.
against everyone else, but it's a 20 against the Rockies. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yank him!
So next time the Rockies come, just don't put it. Just
So tomorrow.
Machi.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. How about Machi is our closer for the rest of the series?
Machi, that guy's great.
Well, no, I mean, he's pitched 2
What's
days in
his
a row.
ERA, by the way?
0.31 coming into the inning he pitched.
Yay. That's
The 1/3.
freaky.
Yeah, I think he's got an outside chance of being an all-star.
It might be like .29.
Well, how could you not be with
not
that?
a lot of relievers make it, but he's been.
Well, he hasn't won a game in a while, so.
He was,
5 wins, man.
he was the NL
What's up
leader
with
in
that?
wins for a while, which was
Yeah.
my favorite thing to ever happen.
It's really bizarre to me that in the current era of baseball that relievers don't just make the All-Star game now at this point. Like, have we not gotten over this, that like relievers are a big part of the game, and instead it's like no, we put in a starter in the 7th inning to pitch 1 inning, and you're like, yeah, it's just weird. Like, this is like the 7th best starter you guys have. They've all had 1 inning.
All right, well, so there's still a couple starts left. Do you think Huddy's got a good shot at being named starter?
Starter is
I don't know starter.
a huge deal, and it's. I feel like it's like a feel good story if he does. You know?
He's
But I
got
would like
the best,
to see it.
Yeah, the best ERA in the majors. If he,
It
if
was
he has
Cueto
that
for
at
a
the
while,
All-Star,
right? And then Cueto shit the bed or something at some point.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he still has the best ERA in the majors and he's like 9-2, I mean,
Yeah, how do you not?
How do you not?
Well,
And coming
I'm just
back from that
thinking-
injury, like he's
I'm just
a great
thinking of the
story.
manager, Mike Matheny. You know, catcher, kind of an old school baseball guy. He's
Yeah,
got
he
a lot
might
of
really
respect
dig
for
it.
pitchers.
Yeah.
If Hudson is still leading the league in ERA, he's 38 years old. He's never started an All-Star
How
game in
could
his
you not
life.
give it to him?
It's kind of a nice sentimental choice, and no one could get pissed for choosing him. It's not like, oh my God, what the league leader in ERA? How dare you? You know.
Yeah.
So
Poor choice.
It'd
That'd
be
be
awesome
pretty
though
sweet.
if the other guy, like who might get it, it would be Bumgarner. If it was just like those two guys battling it out.
Yeah,
Bumgarner
he's not
has
gonna
like two
start,
like
though.
yeah I know, but if he has like
He's
two like
probably gonna make the
amazing
team.
starts in a row,
yeah.
it'd be cool.
Yeah, he's
It
gonna
would be
make the
cool. I mean, we've got. It was actually interesting. I was looking at some ESPN thing the other day, and it was like they have they have all sorts of like weird stats, and it was like percentage chance to win the Cy Young Award or something like that.
Oh.
And it was within the top 10. You had Hudson, Bumgarner, and Romo all in there, and it was like
Romo.
This was like a month ago.
I know. It's before tonight.
Yeah, it was before tonight. He's leading the league in
Didn't you
saves.
check that up,
So,
dude? Yeah.
and at the time, I think his ERA was like 2.5 or something like. It was decent, but it was just kind of cool to see like that the Giants had that many players in the mix. That you could actually say are like, oh, this guy could win the Cy Young depending on what happens.
Yeah, I think Bumgarner is still in line for that because Hudson's not going to have a sub-2 ERA.
Well,
we
dude,
all
he
know
lost
that.
a 2-1 game. That was like his last start. We lost 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, that was he just got caned.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Yeah,
It wasn't
His
like
stat
he
line
pitched
was
bad.
exactly like the other guy too. It was just that he bunched those couple of hits in that one inning.
Yeah.
It's a difference. What are you gonna do?
But so the Giants have like two legit aces right now.
Oh, yeah.
on their rotation.
Yeah. And
So-
that's with Kane struggling.
Yeah.
And Vogie and Timmy being inconsistent. So it's pretty amazing where they are right now. So this team is better than the last 3 teams, at least during the regular season. So I mean, Vogie's got a lot more weapons this year, and it's just. I think ESPN has their playoff percentage tracker or whatever, and the Giants are still
Like we said, they have a bunch of weird shit on the site. It's like, really?
Yeah.
How do you figure this
They
one
track
out?
all the wins, and the percentages adjust every day or whatever. I know last week it was around 89 or 90% chance of them making the playoffs. That includes the wild card and everything like that. So.
That sounds about right. It would be tough for them to not make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard, actually. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Today's theme.
What's
Friday the 13th, full moon, knock on wood.
What do you guys think is going on with Posey? Why is Posey not? I mean, today he legged out a sweet infield single.
He almost had 2
Almost had
infield
2.
singles.
Yeah.
Almost had
Has
2.
that ever happened in the history of Posey? Like
2 in a game?
2 infield singles?
Probably not. Yeah. But I mean, he had the big home run against the Mets. Like he's showed flashes, but he just doesn't seem to be like consistent. I guess like I'm not worried about Posey ever. It's like tough to be worried about a guy like Posey because he's
just smart and he's just
he works hard. He's gonna come out and play every game.
I think he's probably just hurting still. Like
Yeah,
I think if you're back, like his back issues.
He's had back issues.
I mean, how can
exactly.
you feel comfortable swinging a bat if your back is still, sore and hurting? Like,
Sort of important to swing, in the back.
Well, should he just like sit for a little while? Like, is that?
The only thing I'm concerned about, and the second half last year he hit 245.
Yeah. No, he definitely wore down at some point.
And
right?
this year he's 260 now, 262, something like that. So,
but he was like really hot to begin last year.
Yeah.
And then really cooled off.
And actually,
so now he's
pretty
like
hot
not
again
nearly
this year,
as hot at this point as he was last year. So
yeah, but it's just that's almost a full season when you add both. That he's hitting around 250, 255, and it's like, all right, that's a pretty large sample size.
That is.
That's almost a full season. And it's just a little concerning, and I there's many years left in his contract. I just hope that he isn't one of those guys that comes on the scene, tears it up for a couple years, MVP, couple World Series, and then just becomes kind of a slightly above average player.
Oh, like a Joe Mauer? You talking about Joe Mauer right now?
No, it's not like they would ever, he's great.
I don't think he is, man. I think he's more like I don't see that from this guy. I think that he's struggling with his health a little bit now, but I think that like he's gonna be one of those guys who's gonna be like, well, unless he like catches every single year for the rest of his career. But I think he's gonna be like 33, 34 and like being like, like Piazza was at the end of his career. Like he's still like scary hitter to face. Like he'll get even better as he gets like into his late 20s and then early 30s.
He's a 300 hitter.
He's just going to move into first base and whatnot, He's
such a smart
I'm not
hitter.
worried
He just
about
seems
it.
to be a little off right now. So
Well, and with no Belt, like it's been so hard to give him days off because
If Belt comes back, I wouldn't mind seeing them just say like, hey, let's just put him on the 15-day DL and just let him like rest completely and just like feel better and then
be healthy in the September.
Because it's tough, man. You play the hardest position in the game and you hit third. And there's a lot on your shoulders. Yeah.
Posey,
There's a
do
lot
everything.
To do. Yeah. Hey,
And then be
you know how
100%.
we need everything done? Well, you that's on you. We're all going to be over here hanging out, talking about how our hair is cool and our mustaches are cool.
That's right.
He does have a little
Is he
facial
doing it,
hair.
Jim?
He's got that weird half
Yeah.
goatee going. Yeah, a little.
He's got some.
He's got something going on.
I don't know
He's
what
trying.
to call it.
Yeah.
But
He's
You got
trying.
Timmy's mustache. You got
He's
Buster
as
Posey's,
good as it
like
gets for
flavor
him, right?
saver. I
I
don't know
think
what's
really
going
everyone
on.
is trying so hard because then like Tonto started like doing the goatee
no.
thing and like, it's like everyone you weren't expecting to start having facial hair all of a sudden it's like
Yeah.
wispy
Wait, guys,
things
I
are
can do
coming
it
out of
too.
nowhere.
Wispy things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand why everyone hated Brian Wilson's beard now that he's not here anymore. Because now I look at the thing I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, it's just time to let that
You
go.
have
But
a
it's
rubber
worse
band.
now.
It's gotten worse and worse, yeah. Because now he's like doing little
like
weird ties in it and stuff.
Oily and nasty and
Like eventually he's gonna be like
harboring
one of the like
insect
dudes
life
on Hate
and
Street who's just like buds.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, get away from me.
Yeah. Saw him on the street, you'd like back away.
Well, I didn't mind it when he had it the first year, and then he said I was gonna cut it when we stopped winning, and then we just kept winning, and then they stopped winning.
Yeah,
And
guess
he
what
just kept
happened?
going.
You stopped winning.
Like,
but
what's
you
your excuse now,
lied.
dude?
Yeah, you were a liar. Yeah, I think he realized that like it made him famous, and that's what he really wanted the whole
Yeah,
time
it's his
anyway. Was
persona,
just to be
whatever.
famous. Yeah,
It is what
that's
it is.
fine. I ain't mad at him.
Oh,
Do your
so
thing. Just keep
Casilla,
having a terrible year, right?
Casilla's coming off the DL when they go to Chicago next week.
Yay!
So that's a
Yeah,
good
so
thing.
how scary is this team going to be when Casilla comes off, Belt comes off, Posey
Yeah,
figures
Belt's
it
back in
out,
probably 2 weeks. or so.
Sandoval's figured it out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Sandoval
they've had a
has figured it
lot.
out. He's been great.
They've had. I'm shocked that they have as many wins as they do with how many injuries. Like I thought when Belt went down,
They
I was
didn't
like, no,
skip a
that's
beat
it.
without
Like, these are
Belt.
Like
big.
and
at all.
Posey
Yeah.
was,
But that was a big blow.
exhausted
At the
and
time,
hurt
he was
and-
leading like the team in home runs, and he was like near the league lead in home
Yeah,
runs.
it
Like he was on
with
fire.
Casilla and then Kane's been on the DL. I really thought at the beginning of the season, I thought if they stayed totally healthy, they have a shot at the division. And then it was like everyone was down. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then they
And then they just
went like
won
30 and
anyway.
11
Yeah.
or something. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what team is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't-
And you look at like run differential and all that kind of crap, and the Giants aren't like way up there. Like, the A's have like twice as many more runs than their opponents or whatever compared to us. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
That
win the close games. That's the thing.
yeah.
You know, it's
Well, or
pitching.
according to the Rockies fan sites,
Oh.
just get lucky.
Lucky,
as hell. Just
right.
lucky consistently for
Just lucky.
60 games.
Lucky. You want to talk about lucky? Is the Rockies the ninth inning today?
Yeah, right. I
was about to say,
single
so,
thing found a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tulo's hit in the ninth inning there, leading off. I mean, he extended his arms out. You know,
What was that?
the bloop.
Yeah, something like that.
No, saw the replay, and he really did hit that off the end of the bat. So I mean, it's a good piece of hitting, but it's not like he
But he's strong enough that he gets those things to actually fall.
He's only leading the National League in average. So.
None of the hits that they got in the ninth inning were really. I mean, honestly, like what really bit the Giants in the butt in that ninth inning was 2 plays by Pagan actually that were both awful. Throwing to third, and then overthrowing second base on the next play after also butchering the ball as he came in to field it.
He had a rough night.
He was fine for the rest of it. Then all of a sudden,
he was tired.
Yeah, maybe.
Like this game it's already past the 3-hour mark. We're only in the top of the ninth. Like,
he wanted fireworks.
Yeah, he was just there for the fireworks. Gone.
Who wasn't?
But he just looked like he didn't know how to play outfield all of a sudden. It was weird. But those were actually big plays because it's even though you could say, then the next bunch of guys all got hit, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. The fact is, it changed the way the Giants played defense for the rest of the inning.
Well, this is how it changed.
They pulled the fielders in, and then there was a hit, like ground ball right through the infield.
So let's reset this, right? First guy gets a hit. Fine. Second guy gets a hit. First and second. Then there's the fly ball. He rockets one to third base. We're all screaming. Well, at least in our minds.
In your heart.
As soon as you saw him turn towards third, you were like, "What?" Yeah.
And so he tries to nail the runner at third, and that runner doesn't mean crap. I mean, it's the runner on first. So that allows him to go to first. Then they didn't bring the infield in. They had the corners in.
Well, they walked the next guy.
Because
went to a second and third and one out.
Then they walked the next
open,
guy.
They walked the guy.
But if they had first and third, obviously the next guy they would not have walked.
They wouldn't have walked him.
Hit, and who knows what would have happened at that point.
And you can play double play depth. Run. You can get a double play there just fine. Or you could get an out at second or first.
And there's 2 outs. And one run in.
And one run in.
Yeah. And you're still
But instead, it was bases loaded, and the next guy got a hit. And
right
it just turned into
his legs, too.
Yeah,
that's one of those things where
and then there was the
snagged
hit back up the middle. Yeah, Romo, if he gets a glove on it and catches it, it's a double play. There was just a lot of fluky stuff. So.
Luck. A lot of luck.
Yeah.
That's right. Tell those Rocky fans. A lot of luck.
That's the thing. I mean, luck evens out throughout the course of a year. And everybody always bitches and moans. But you know who bitches and moans about luck? Losers. That's who.
Yeah, I mean, luck.
Losers.
You have to be lucky to win a World Series. But, you also have to be a good baseball team. So it's.
Yeah. But though, I mean, like anything, with any sport ever. I always talk about this with hockey. By the way, the Kings are the.
No,
whatever.
we're not talking.
The Kings are the something.
No.
Kings.
Not talking.
The Kings are the something. No, there'll be like
They're
20
there.
people out there at their parade, and it'll be exciting for those people. Is there any other city that's so doesn't give a crap about their team and it's really good? That's so weird to me. They don't care about hockey. Anyway.
Atlanta Braves.
Wait.
They don't show up
the
for the
Marlins.
playoffs.
The Marlins. Nobody gives a crap.
The Marlins are either really good or so
really
terrible.
bad.
Actually, all Florida teams, they're really good. Still, no one shows up. Then they sell all the people, and then no one shows up when they're bad. And they acquire good players again somehow, and then no one shows up when they're good. It's so weird. How is that a thing that still happens? Anyway, so.
Because they're all the neat games.
They're just trying to go to the ballpark because there's metal detectors and they won't get shot in Florida somehow if they're there.
There's a club there too, I think.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
All right.
Twofer.
But I was just going to say, so in hockey, it seems to me you've got this enclosed space and everyone's got sticks and they just bang this thing around and then eventually it might go in or it might not. So it's just totally luck based.
Sounds like Hunter Pence at the plate.
Some people, yeah.
Sometimes they do.
Some teams have more speed or something. They can skate faster than you. They can slide across ice faster than you can somehow. But it's just that sport seems very random in a lot of aspects. And there's just any sport, there's luck.
It is what it is.
But then there's angles.
No, I know there's a lot of skill. I know. No, I'm totally I think hockey is but I mean that's a sport
Allie should
where
start a hockey podcast.
Yeah, where it's highly it's very everything's condensed and this thing is banging around all over the place and a lot of weird I've seen it might go under my stick but it didn't and now I score that kind of stuff. It's
I haven't really been listening in the
Are you playing 2048?
Looking at are you playing 2048 right now?
I'm not. I'm trying to make sure all the sound that I went through I sent today went through, and for some reason it didn't. So.
Apparently these girls are addicted to a game called 2048. You don't know about this game?
Don't start playing it.
No idea.
You'll never start.
You slide numbers around. Sounds exciting, right?
You're being a little
Hold on, it gets better.
Not for me.
They add together. And then if they
I'm opening it. I'm turning it on.
if they equal the same thing, then they smash together and they double and become
It's
one
like
number.
Bejeweled meets Tetris and has a baby.
It's that kind of
what
game.
is it?
Yeah, it's that kind of game. Yeah.
See, so you have to put the 2s, and they turn into 4s, and then you put the 2s, and 4s turn into 8, and eventually you have to put all the squares together.
Until they're 248.
Yeah,
And that's the biggest number it can be.
and that, there it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And now I'm not
It's
going to
epic,
turn this
dude.
off because now I have
No.
to play
Oh,
this game,
no.
so-
No, because this game is important.
Oh,
It's
my God.
but like anybody who plays video games understands like this mentality.
No,
I also can't do this
completionist
upside
Yeah,
must
Pac-Man,
finish.
like all that
Just
kind of shit.
one
What
more
were you
minute.
really doing?
Yeah. One more game.
What were you really doing?
Yeah.
You were telling a little yellow circle to go around a little maze. Yeah.
Well, I was
8-bit
addicted
action.
to Candy Crush for a while, and then I kind of weaned myself off. And now this happened,
Yeah.
and now I'm just
Candy Crush is some bullshit though, because there's some levels where you're like, okay,
I
you're
beat all of
just
the
trying to get
levels.
me to pay for some stuff.
All of the
to help
levels.
Yeah, and I didn't buy anything.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. Free to
So-
play.
Played that once.
So that's my
Free to play player.
there's my life accomplishments.
Not pay to win. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
You guys ready to wrap it up?
They want to play some 2048.
It's too late now.
You guys are already.
I've
You guys have wrapped it up right now.
They checked out already.
All right. Anybody wanna have a favorite guy? Favorite guy?
Michael Morris.
Okay. I'll
Just
accept
for that big smile and chucking off the helmet and going to
Brandon Hicks.
No one can see that you're pointing at me, so it just sounds like you're picking Brandon
It
Hicks.
sounded like I
He
picked
didn't
Brandon
strike
Hicks.
out 4 times. He broke his bat on that last at bat. That was progress, baby.
He got wood on it.
He got wood.
All right, Jen. Favorite guy? Who's your favorite guy right now?
That's a different question
Yeah.
than my person of the game.
Ishikawa. All right, moving on.
Now, personal question.
Tearing up Fresno? Is he? I don't know. But the day they re-signed him, I was like,
I know, that was pretty cool, right?
Where are they
now I'm Googling that.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he was released by Milwaukee or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
The Giants have him somewhere.
You know what
in the
he's
farm
doing?
system.
He's showing up at some sort of
That's so
Giants World
sad.
Series event.
In his jeans.
In jeans and a jersey. And being like,
Why
yeah,
am I-
what's
that
up?
was
I got
awesome.
a ring.
Why must you judge him?
That was
I'm not
fantastic.
judging him. I'm
Coming out
just
in his
saying.
jeans.
Dude is badass in his jeans. Everyone else in their full jersey, ready to play baseball. It's like, dude, I'm chilling, man. All right, well, she looks up Ishikawa.
That is my player of the game in life. So
Allie, you got a favorite guy of the moment?
Well, I like Brandon Crawford. He did nothing really today, but
He actually did literally
Yes.
nothing today.
yes, he did not mess up.
I'm sure
and
he
make
cheered
sense
for a
of
lot of
today.
things
right?
and,
But just
yeah.
overall, I feel like
Gave
he's
some
been
high
so
fives.
solid, and like people like talk about him, but not quite as much as like the big players all the time. And I think,
Not as much as we should be talking about the guy who's second in the team in RBIs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And playing bang up defense and
Where
we don't
was he
expect
in
him to hit
WAR?
260.
So we had Pence number 1.
Yeah, Pence is actually number 1 in WAR. I believe it was.
Isn't he 4th or 5th or something like that?
No, I think it was. So it was Pence. It was Morse, and Crawford was maybe tied for 3rd or something.
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
Crawford's
he was up
definitely
there
up there.
because the defense makes a big deal.
Yeah. Huge deal. Now, he's been a stud this year. Just defensively,
sick.
offensively, he's picked it up. Yeah, solid choice. Even though he didn't play.
Do you want to have a real favorite guy?
I'm not gonna be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be podcasting with you guys anytime like in the next 2 days. So when he does
Yeah.
play, so
Yeah.
Travis Ishikawa batting .274 for the Fresno Grizzlies.
Really? That's respectable.
Everyone, watch out!
That is respectable. I'm glad he's still playing baseball. I like that guy.
Me too. My real person, I would pick Lincecum.
Yeah.
I think I really have hoped this season that having Hudson would kind of have a good influence on Timmy, and he would kind of morph into a different kind of pitcher because he just can't blow people away anymore. And not that the last 2 games are solid evidence that he's turned a corner, but he's looked really good. He has 7 quality starts. I mean, I don't know how many he had last year, but not not a ton.
Yeah.
So that's like half of his starts have been quality starts, and granted that
that's-
needs to go up, but
That's pretty cool.
he's had a really good couple starts in a row, and he feels good about where he's at, and we love Timmy. So
Well,
I'm
San Francisco,
rooting for him.
yeah, he's a god here. He always will be. I'm going to actually pick someone based on just tonight's game. I'm going to pick Gutierrez, who pitched really good for a couple innings, and then unfortunately gave away to the rest of the bullpen, which just did not pitch good. But I really like this guy as like the 6th inning, 7th inning guy. He's done really well. He throws hard.
He's done really well.
He's got some good stuff, and he fits right in. You got your Latin reliever coming out of the bullpen, which the Giants have specialized in for quite a while now.
Think about this, though. After the 3rd inning, Lincecum retired that last batter.
Yeah,
and he retired
like
the
17
side in
or
order
17 in a row?
in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. So he retired 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Then Gutierrez came in and pitched 2. And 1.1. One
No, because then they went Affelt.
He retired all 4. Affelt retired 1,
and then Machi
retired 1.
Yeah.
So they had 16 in a row set down.
Yeah.
16 in
16
a row.
in a row.
5 in the 3rd innings of just
Until
perfect
Those
baseball.
lucky Rockies.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
See, that was when luck
and then
was
4
in,
out of
yeah.
5. It was just basically, the averages just panned out. It was all that. So no, whatever. We're gonna have some of these games this year.
Yeah.
And we just happen to attend one. It's all good.
All right. Anybody want to hate on anybody? You don't have to, but you can if you want to.
Like from the Giants or in general?
Just in general. Usually it's not. Actually, in fact, almost exclusively, it's not from the Giants.
Oh.
When we hate on
never
somebody.
put a Giant in that category.
I'll just go start. I'll just say Brian Wilson right now because not that I hate him, but I wish him ill as he pitches for the Dodgers.
It's fun every time he gives up a run. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of nice, right? Like it's like, that was nice. That felt good.
$1 million. Screw you.
It's like my heart just felt good for a second there. There you go. That's it. I don't hate him, but I just wish ill will.
No, you hate it.
I just wish the worst for him. But without hate.
You were the biggest Wilson fan too.
I was, dude. I love that guy.
I know.
And that's why I still can't
That's why
even
it
hate on
sucks.
him. Yeah.
I know. It just
And
sucks.
even with all the animosity between him and the Giants organization now, I still I defend him when people are like, "Oh, he shouldn't have," whatever, and I'm like, well, he was trying to get the most money he can for I understand his
It was a
position.
business deal.
Yeah, he's trying to make money. Obviously, he wanted the Giants to offer him what he got offered eventually, but the Giants didn't feel like they could offer him that.
Second Tommy John.
And, sure, that's fine. But I also understand the Giants' point of view, which is like, hey, we offered you a contract. An incentive-laden contract that was very little money.
If you pitch as well as you think
pitch.
you could, then you would earn all that
But
money.
if you did pitch good, you would have gotten the money. So both sides or whatever.
I had no problem with him going to a team that wanted him and was clearly going to overpay him because that's what the
It's
Dodgers
just really
do.
unfortunate that it was the Dodgers,
But
right? Yeah.
it is. But his thing, were you at the game last year too, where he came over and
Yelling at Bear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
like
yelling
standing
at
in the
Larry
front
Bear.
row, and
Yeah.
we were just. I remember we were
That was
sitting in the
pretty
press
lame.
box, and we're
Yeah.
like, "What is he happy?" Like we couldn't tell. He was just gesturing and like.
You know what it is? You go to LA, you get on heroin, as you do, hanging out at the Roxy.
Are you
I know.
insinuating that?
You start hanging out with all the rock stars and the actors. And
It was
That's what happens to you.
Then it was kind of like, oh, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Like that's
What you gotta do is stay in San Francisco and take the heroin with the heroin addicts in the Mission. And Tenderloin.
They're way
Much
nicer.
better. They just want
Quality
some change,
customer service,
man.
you know?
They don't want to star in a movie. They just want some change. It's a different type of heroin addict.
Wait, what is this podcast about?
Oh yeah, no, I was about heroin addicts. Jen, do you want to hate on anybody? Anybody you hate right now?
I don't know. There's people who I think are annoying, but I don't.
I mean, like, I can get on Twitter right now and find a couple people.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you can.
seriously.
Yeah.
No, nobody.
No, I don't really think so.
Okay,
Very positive
that's
person.
fine.
I'm
That's
trying.
totally fine.
I'm trying because I'm gonna
You're
say
not-
something and then I'm gonna get trolled by all these people on Twitter.
You're not
like,
forced to hate on people if you don't want
Thank
to.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What about you, Allie? Anybody? Anybody out there?
I don't know. No one in particular. I mean,
No?
Probably just Twitter people.
Twitter people?
Yeah, that's
Trolley
Twitter
type
I mean,
Twitter
just
people? Yeah.
A's fans on Twitter in general. Just
What is their deal?
I
I don't understand the hatred of the A's fans towards the Giants, because you guys won the battle when we actually had like a meaningful series. So if it was the other way around, I would be like, hey, Rubber 89, whatever.
yeah.
But instead they don't do that. This is like when I talk shit.
I was gonna say, and I didn't want to hear it from you.
That's okay. I'll say it.
When I talk shit on Twitter about other teams, like tonight, I tweeted about. I said my tweet was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically like, anybody in LA who I'm friends with, be careful. There are dozens of Kings fans out there rioting right now. And then all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, whatever, man, the Giants are stupid. And they smell like butt. And I was like, why don't you just be like...
Maybe a valid comeback.
Yeah.
But
Sure. But I was like, why don't you just be like, suck it, we won the cup, you suck. Like, why don't you just say that?
yeah, winning is
That's
really,
what I
like,
said
the
when
best
we won,
smack
yeah.
talk.
I was like, bitch, kiss my 2 fucking trophies right now. Like, I don't even care. All right, Chad, hate on someone.
All right, so it's going to be...
I see that you're on. Oh.
Are you Googling people to hate?
No, I actually...
No,
know
I
where
couldn't
he's going
remember
with
his
this.
name, so I
And
had
this
to
is
look it
actually
up.
a really...
Should I hate
He's
today?
actually got the best guy to hate.
All right, so the Washington Times sports columnist, Tom Lavero.
I like
We
where you're
actually
going
should have
with
all
this.
hated on this
Yeah.
guy. We actually should have all picked this guy.
And I saw a lot of it
One after
going
the
Can I
on for...
retroactively
Yeah.
second
Yeah, all
this?
4 of us are
Yeah.
dogpiling on
I
this
vote
guy.
I on hating this person.
I read all about it on Twitter. I was like, whatever. How bad could it be?
Yeah.
Well, here's some choice
Bad.
quotes. First of all, he got his stats wrong, and in a positive way.
Really?
Literally
Yeah.
every stat
So he
was
says-
wrong. I don't understand.
He says he is reunited with his old teammates this week as an opponent with the San Francisco Giants, where his career has been resurrected with 15 home runs, 57 RBI,
Holy shit!
and a 275 average.
I wish.
False.
That's
Now his
amazing.
actual stats are
Have we
13
ever
home
had somebody
runs,
with that?
which
Barry
are
Bonds
2
used to
less,
be, yeah.
42 RBI, a lot less, and then 279, actually 4 points more. Where the hell is he getting those lines?
Who did he look up?
Sniffing
Yeah,
them.
how hard is it
sniffing
to
those
Did he
look on
lines.
a
act-
website?
Did he accidentally?
Like maybe he looked at the wrong line or something. You know, like where you see
But
people lined
whose
up.
line did he look
I
at?
don't know, but
Whose
we
line
Who
is
has
that?
Giants has
Whose line is it
57?
anyway?
For that guy?
Yeah, can we get that Morse? That's a better Morse. All right.
Crap.
So then he says Morse was a fan favorite in Washington because sometimes dumb can be cute and fun. His connection with fans here manifested itself in his signature song "Take on Me," which became the team's 7th inning stretch song. The team continued to play it even after Morse was gone until recently when it stopped. He told the Post that he's been having fun, blah, blah, blah. I still got it here. It's incredible. It's something I'll always have with the people at DC, but it's to another level here. It's a whole other level. So there is Morse praising the fans of San Francisco, saying DC fans are amazing. This place is a totally whole other level. And then Tom says, a smart man might have realized that was an insult wrapped in a compliment. What?
No.
Like he's making up stuff. I don't know what Michael Morse did to his wife or his
Yeah,
children.
seriously.
Well,
Anyway.
Michael Morse has a wife of his own, so I don't think he did anything to his wife. I think some people are just jealous assholes, and then they become writers.
He says stuff here, but he was a defensive liability, and there was no place for him moving forward in Washington. It goes on and on and on. And then he near the end of the article, he says, you see where he's playing in San Francisco? First base primarily. The dude doesn't even do his research.
No, it's like he's never watched
and the fact
baseball.
that not only has he played more games in left field than first base, but he's only playing first base because of the injured Brandon Belt. And this guy can't even do his baseball research.
Yeah.
He hates Michael Morse. I'm hating on him.
Yet somehow this
I can't
guy
believe
has a
someone
job
like this
writing for the
could
Times,
publish
and,
an article like this, and it would get past the sports editor. It's absolutely appalling to me.
Yeah, it made me really mad when I read it. I mean, yeah, we're like journalists and we cover the team and we, you try to be objective, but this is a really nice group of people and the Giants, and I remember working a game where Morse I think had a 2-out bases clearing double or something, and then they took out the starting pitcher, so it was an extended round of applause. Like, literally, I think everyone in the stadium was giving Morse a standing ovation. He's standing on second, and he's trying to, like, compose himself because he's trying not to cry. And so we talked to him after the game, and he just said, like, he's never felt so welcome in a city in his life.
Yeah.
And, he got booed in Seattle, and
he's
think
getting
he was,
the Melky treatment right now.
Yeah, and he's the nicest. He's the nicest person, and so to just watch it, to see him get like ripped apart for no reason was like.
It's just lame,
why?
dude. Yeah.
Why? Like he's such a good guy.
Yeah, but this
Clearly
guy was
jealousy.
attacked not only by Giants fans but even Nats fans. Going, this wasn't even an objective article. First of all of your statistics, and he plays first base primarily. All of that was wrong. Shows you how much of an idiot you are.
Yeah.
Second of all, we loved Morse here. He wasn't dumb. The
I'm just
Giants
gonna
fans
put this
loved him.
out
What are you
there.
doing?
Anybody who writes like a hateful article, like we do this little like bullshit, funny hate on someone segment at the end of our show.
Yeah.
But it's always just been kind of like, just in like
Very light.
let's just have some fun, like whatever, talking some smack. But people who like sit down and like just like, like I hate this guy so much. I'm just gonna write all this stuff about him. Like, there's just something going on inside you, and, like, you need to address that. Like, you need to figure out what it is that makes you do that. Because you can definitely talk about someone having a negative impact or whatever it is, but this was just, like, a personal attack on a human being. It was, like, insane to read it.
It's like when people are
just weird.
mean about Pence or Posey or something, you're like,
yeah. It's just weird.
They're such good, nice people.
Yeah.
Like apart from
I don't think
being
he's
baseball
ever had more
players, it's
fun.
like they're good guys. It's not even like you're writing an article ripping like Barry Bonds, who maybe was not the nicest person in the but it's like
that kind of stuff was fine.
these guys are.
I never got mad at anybody for hating on Barry Bonds. He hated on people all the time.
Or if there were like actual stats being like they're still playing Morse at first base even though he sucks this season or something like that. Then like that's maybe worthy of an article if you're visiting from Washington or something to see how a player is doing and stuff. But just a completely subjective article that's.
So this guy sucks. But he's a
Tom
butthead.
Lavero,
He's a
Washington
butthead.
Times.
He's a super butthead.
Suck.
Analysis.
Analysis just happened. Stupid
Crush
butthead.
it.
Super, but
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Why are we gonna win it all though, Chad? Just quick.
Because they're going to play above 500 and win 96 games. There we go.
Yeah, that's not even that far above 500.
No.
All right. I was gonna say we win it all because when Brandon Belt comes back, we're just a better team than we are now, and we were a pretty damn good team for the 6 weeks while he was gone.
True.
That's it. Jen?
That's it. I'm gonna say because of Michael Morse, because he's like my guy this season.
Because what a good guy he is.
Well, like I loved that signing, and he's
by the way,
been
when he had the
so
walk
much
off
better.
and he like tore his shirt open, was that the
Literally,
coolest
because
thing?
we're gonna win it all because he flung his helmet tonight and that hair, and because when he had the walk off, he ripped his shirt open. What? This team is so weird.
But that was
dress on the
superhero
field.
night though too, which was so good
I
about
wish
it.
he'd had like a Superman
It
shirt
was
under.
the
Oh, that would have
if
been
he
the
actually did have the
That would have
Superman
been the
shirt
best.
under.
Oh, man.
That would have been the coolest thing
and they
of all
asked him
time.
why'd you decide to take your shirt off? And he's like, well, someone started ripping off, so I figured I'd just take the rest off. It's like that wouldn't
That
occur to
kinda
me like
answer,
that personally.
I'm okay. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good.
What about you? Why are we?
Yeah, I was gonna say like Morse in spite of the dumb rider guy.
Yeah, dig it.
Allie and I are defending Morse
I
tonight.
dig it.
Okay.
I dig that wholeheartedly.
I hope Michael Morse rips a foul ball back into the press box in Washington in August. And it hits Tom Lavero right in the skull.
You know, it would be like sweet justice, which is just like the Giants love the sweet justice. Is like we end up playing the Nationals in the playoffs, and Michael Morris hits like a walk-off to eliminate them from the play. That would be so
He
good.
looks up at the
And
press
then
box and like points.
and he goes, "Oh!" He's got a big rips the shirt off.
Tom Lavero!
Wears that as like a
Your face.
a white
wearing
beater
that?
under his.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
You're my muse.
I hope it says "You're my muse."
He's actually like found his reason to play so good for the rest of the season now. This guy actually
He
just
did
helped
have
the Giants.
3 hits yesterday, raising his average.
And he had an
to
RBI
290.
tonight.
Yeah.
with a triple. It was the most exciting triple.
Quote unquote triple.
Yeah, it was a double, but whatever. It should have been a triple. They should have just given him a triple. Because when is he ever going to get a triple again?
Never gonna get
a lot of extra work. Yeah, come on.
But Timmy has 2 triples on his career. That was like when he came
only
up.
3 doubles.
Oh, honorable mention goes out to Timmy's at bat in the second inning.
With the bases loaded.
I've never seen the crowd bat into a pitcher at bat in my life.
In the second inning of a game, bases loaded. He worked it to a full count. He kept
fouled off 3 pitches.
Yeah, shout out to the crowd at AT&T tonight because you guys were nailing it.
No,
that was great.
We get up for everything. Like they were just like, yeah, let's go. Like I was
second inning, bases loaded. The pitcher has 2 strikes. Yeah. This is totally a great opportunity to score.
There was a bunch of people just like, everybody up.
It's because we're spoiled with Bumgarner. Like we've seen a pitcher grand slam already this season, so just maybe in the back of our minds every time we just
could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
He's got no home runs in his career. He never will.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
He does not have the pop in that bat. No. All right, well, that's going to do it for the Bonusode live from Zeke's after the Giants unfortunately lost. But somehow we turned it into a positive evening.
Somehow.
Nothing like booze and fireworks to lighten the mood.
Not together.
That generally does it, yeah. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. All the places.
It's really going downhill.
Jen, you are at Jen Cosgrove. That's correct.
Thank you.
I was going to make up another name for you, but it's fine. We'll skip that for this time.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. I got another good one for you next time. Allie?
It's Allie Duh with 2 H's.
It's Allie Duh. At Chad K21 is Chad. I am at Willie Dills, and we are all collectively at Torchcast, except for them. No, just me and Chad. Just me and Chad are at Torchcast. And for the absent Ben Lee, we'll see you next time. Boom.
A big thank you to everybody for listening to the TortureCast, the podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. Follow us on Twitter at TortureCast. You can also like us on Facebook or check out our blog at torturecast.com. I also want to say thank you to Ashcon and Bailey for letting us use their song Feeling Like a Giant for our intro. For Ben Lee and Chad King, my name is Willie Dills saying, we'll see you next time.